Hi everybody, Mr. Matthews here. I'm so excited because I get to do your reading assembly this week. And as well as reading you guys a story and asking some questions, I'm going to show you our international partnership and how it links to this brilliant story. And our international partnership is a school that we are partnered with. That means that we can share kind of pictures, stories, resources, and talk to the teachers and pupils out there. And it's based in Kenya, where this story is based. And I'll give you a bit more information about that shortly. So the story we're going to be reading today is Lila and the Secret of the Rain. I know some of you have been studying this and some of you have read this also, but let's have a look at it in a bit more detail. Just remind ourselves what makes a good reader in our school, and we're going to have opportunities to use these skills as we go through the story. So, what do you guys think? What could the secret of the rain be? What does it mean, the secret of the rain? Let's see if you guys can make some predictions. Maybe you'll use your background knowledge to help you. So, for weeks and weeks, the sun beat down on the Kenyan village where Lila lived. It was very hot, so hot that Lila, her mama and brother, and all the other villagers stayed in their houses to keep away from the burning sun. It was too hot to gather firewood, too hot to weed the village garden. It was even too hot to milk the cow. One night, Lila overheard her mama talking about the well that had dried up and the crops that were failing. Without water, there can be no life, Lila heard her mama say. Lila wanted so much for the sun to stop shining and for the rain to come. But the sun did not stop shining and the rain did not come. At this point, how do you think all the villagers were feeling, knowing that the well was dried up and the crops were failing? And what might happen if the rain doesn't come? What might happen to the villagers? What might they do? So one evening, Lila's grandfather told her a story about a man that he'd met once when he was a boy, a man who had told him the secret of the rain. You must climb the highest mountain, said the man to Lila's grandfather, and tell the sky the saddest thing you know. Lila listened very carefully to what her grandfather said. The following morning, when the sun was still asleep, Lila left the village and set off to find the highest mountain that she could. Lila walked and walked and walked, and at last she found herself at the foot of a very tall mountain. Lila began to climb higher and higher and higher, and when Lila reached the top of the mountain, she began to tell the sky the saddest things she knew. What do you guys think the saddest things she knew were? What could she be telling the sky to make it sad? First, she told of the time her brother cut his leg while chasing a chicken in the village. Then she told of the time she burnt her fingers while helping her mama to cook. On and on Lila went, telling the sky the saddest things she knew. And at the end of each one, she looked to the sky for a sign of rain. But the sky remained blue and the sun still shone very brightly. Lila began to cry. What can I do? She said to the sky. It's too hot to collect firewood. It's too hot to weed the village garden. It's too hot to milk the cow. The well is dry and the crops are failing. Without the crops, there'll be no food. Without food, the people in the village will become sick. And without water, there can be no life. Everything on the mountaintop was silent and nothing could be heard except the sound of Lila weeping. Then a breeze began to blow, and the dust around Lila's feet started to dance. Clouds began to fill the sky like flocks of white birds, slowly blocking out the sun's scorching rays. The clouds grew darker and darker, filling with Lila's sadness until the sky was ebony with emotion. Suddenly, a flash of lightning tore across the sky and a loud roar of thunder echoed around the mountain. Lila felt the gentle touch of a raindrop on her foot, then another, and another, and another, until the ground was awash with the tears of rain. Lila joyfully lifted up her hands to the crying sky, for each raindrop felt like one of her mama's kisses. As fast as she could, Lila ran down the mountain. By the time she reached home, all the villagers were celebrating the rain with music and dancing. Lila's mama was very relieved to see her home again, safe and sound. She hugged her close, while Lila's grandfather gave her a knowing smile. For Lila and her grandfather knew that she had saved the village with the secret of the rain. Wow, what an amazing story. Why do you guys think that her grandfather and herself, Lila, kept it secret that they saved the village? Why do you think? Could you use your inference skills to have a go answering that question? Okay, guys, so I want to talk to you about a bit more about our international partnership. Now, our international partnership is called Lerubai Primary School, and it's based in Archer's Post in central Kenya, just above the equator. This is our partner school, and it's an amazing place. It has no electricity, no water, just basic classrooms, which you'll see a picture of shortly. They also have to fence the playground in to stop elephants from coming in. Every morning, they also have to check for lions in the compound where they are. You can see, that's me there, very hot indeed. It was about 42 degrees that day. So, if you look, you can see Kenya on the right-hand side of Africa, the continent of Africa in green. And Archer's Post is right in the middle of Kenya. It's a very hot place. It's just north of Mount Kenya, one of the biggest mountains in Africa. And you can see Mount Kenya in the distance. This is some of the kids at the school. They're all very happy. They all love to have fun, just like you guys on their playtimes. And this is the year ones, all lining up ready for their lunch. This is the typical classroom. This is the year sixes all focusing on their exams. They're doing a science exam here. You can see the classroom doesn't have anything on the walls. There's no electricity. There's no water. The windows are empty. They're just steel frames because it's so hot. And we can see the head teacher, Priscilla, here, and the deputy head teacher, Moses, here. And what they have here is loads of resources that I took out with me when I went to visit the partner school that we donated from our school, which they were really grateful for. This is the year 6 cohort. This is just the year 6s. Look how many there are. It's such a huge school that takes in children from a large area. But what's amazing is that, and really interesting, is that Lila and the Secret of the Rain is actually based in the area where our partner school is. Wow. Look at their core values: commitment, ambition, respect and excellence. Are any of these values the same as ours? Do you know them? Now, this, close to Lerubai Primary School, our partner school, is a mountain called Ololokwe. And this, to me, looked just like the mountain that Lila went up to tell the sky the saddest thing she knew. So I decided I would go up there. And I tell you what, it was really hard. But once we got to the top, the views were magnificent. It took about 7 hours in the blistering heat. But when we were up there, it felt like we were on top of the world. And you can see how isolated the school is. There's not a lot of buildings around them. The nearest city is Nairobi, which was a 5-hour drive away. You can see there's one road that goes through the whole area. And here we are right on the top. We made it to the top just. It was so hot. Well, thanks for listening, guys. I wanted to show you our international partnership just so you guys could learn a bit more about it. But also, I wanted to tell you the amazing story of Lila and the Secret and the Rain. I'd love it if you guys had some questions about our international school. And once we can start sharing more, we can talk about it a bit more as well and connect with them. Thanks, guys.